Kris, I asked Calvin this. Is that the best game your team's played all season?
It probably is. One of the best. When you consider the opposition, the LA Kings, obviously a very good hockey team. Probably, I believe they had the best record in the second half of the season. So for us to come out and play as well as we did tonight against a good quality team and in their building, I thought it was a great effort from our guys.
Can you speak to the amount of players that got involved tonight? You know, Yanmark scoring again, Kane scoring, Henrique 10 and 3 in the circle, Hyman, 10 hits, 6 shots on goal. You had a lot of contributors. It just wasn't Connor and Leon tonight.
Yeah, no, I think we put in a good team effort. I think everyone was contributing. That goes to the back end, the forwards, all lines, like the Yanmark line only played, between 7-10 minutes between that group, and they come up big with a huge goal. The guys who were part of the penalty kill at the end of the game, that was a huge kill. We gave up a penalty kill goal, but not much else we can do on that. Like, it snuck in through a lot of traffic there. Everyone very, very happy with what they provided.
Coach, on this side, please. How do you explain how you took them out of their game for basically the entire game, and it's also an out-of-character game for them? What did you guys do so well, so much better than every other game?
I think everyone was just ready for the challenge. Coming into this building, playing against a good team, but also that we're going to challenge every line to bring something tonight. And there's no line that we're hiding. We can have our fourth line play against the other team's top line. Like, we feel very confident with that. And doing that, we don't have to worry about matchups. We can just roll our lines, and obviously we're going to put Leon and Connor out for special shifts in the offensive zone or whatever it is. But I think everybody was ready to bring their A game, and most of them did.
Kris, can you explain why Matthias Yanmark seems to kind of up his game in the playoffs? Like, what does he do? Why is this time of year so special for him?
I think during the regular season, it wasn't what we saw last year from the playoffs from him. Not that it was bad, but it wasn't at the level that we saw from the playoffs. And he serves a role. He plays. He does a good job on the penalty kill. His scoring wasn't what it was expected. Not that he was going to put up a ton of goals, but it was lower than what we expect from Yanmark. But I said many times during the season, Yanmark was doing everything for us, but put the puck in the net. Like, good role player. And here we asked him to play center, which he hasn't played center, and he's been doing a really good job, especially in the second half of the season at it. So obviously he likes the competition. He likes the playoff atmosphere. Some guys fade when the stakes are high. Other guys raise their game, and Yanmark is definitely a guy that raises his game.
What does it mean to your team to have, theoretically, a backup who could do the job that Calvin Picker's done for you guys over the last 3 games, and especially tonight, stepping up when you guys have... Well,
Calvin's been very, very valuable since I've been here, and pretty much we got here at the same time. Think about the games that he's come in, and his winning record as a backup goalie, regular season, and then last year we put him in the playoffs, and he puts in 2 really good games against Vancouver, kind of lets Skins reset, and Skins had a good run after that. And then right now, we put him in, and he's been playing really well. And tonight, didn't have as much action as the other nights, but we still needed some key saves, and he's been able to do that throughout the series, is give us saves when we needed them.
Coach, in an incredibly direct game from your group tonight, especially on offense, is that something you sort of found in games 3 and 4, taking it straight to the crease, kind of living there?
Yeah, it was definitely a different game than the previous 4. It was a lot faster. We didn't have as much neutral zone time where we were sitting, getting set up, because they were pressuring us a little bit more. and it was just a lot more direct. And we spent a lot of time in the offensive zone, and we were really hungry to score goals. And a lot of credit to their goalie because he played well. And we credit to our guys for sticking with it. And sometimes when you're playing really well, but you don't have the lead, sometimes you get off and start cheating the game a little bit. But I felt our guys stuck with it.
And it seemed like all four lines kind of doing the same thing, just whether it's Perry or Hyman or Kane, kind of all just living in that blue paint.
Well, you look at how goals are scored, and especially against good defensive teams, there's very rarely is there a freebie. And, tonight we were able to score one from distance. Very few guys can do that. Evander Kane's one of them. But you need to crash that paint and get around that net as much as possible to have those opportunities.
Kris, going back to Calvin, he got 36 starts in the regular season. How much of that was knowing that you were going to need 2 goalies for a postseason run here?
At the start of the season, you never know exactly how it's going to play out and what you're going to need. I think at the beginning of the season, you're thinking of, you're most likely planning on having your starter run through the playoffs. I think that's what every coach kind of plans on. And as the season goes on, you know that the way things are going, that the likelihood of using both goalies is going to likely happen. I just think, we've been fortunate that we've got 2 good goalies. We feel confident with either one, and we can put either one in the net, and we feel that we can win that night. We're very fortunate that Calvin, who's a typical backup goalie, is he's a gamer. Like, he's ready. He likes the pressure, and a lot of credit to him because there's been long stretches where he has not played, and then we've put him in the net saying, we need a big game out of you. And probably the time was most last year against Vancouver. He hadn't played for maybe a couple weeks. Came in, played really well for us, and the confidence in him being able to do that. He's been able to do it, so I've got the confidence in him.
Coach, back here. Last game here, I mentioned Ekholm being out and how you thought the team had enough depth without him. But does that create more motivation for all the players when a top defensive player is out to bring their A game, even to step it up even more?
I think every single player would like more responsibility, more ice time, and they never want another player to come out of the lineup so they can have that opportunity. But every single player wants to be on the ice more and help the team win. And now we're in a situation where we lose Ekholm, and here's an opportunity for everyone to step up and play well. And tonight was definitely a night where all of them really stepped up and played well. So, those players have taken advantage of it. Of course, we still miss Ekholm, but we're going to need our guys to continue to elevate their game.
Kris, when you guys play such a complete game, and I know coaches love to keep it as simple as possible if they can. So does this make your job a little more simple? Not that it's easy, to go home and do what you got to do. If you just say, if you play like this, we're not going to lose against anybody.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's that simple. Right. That is a good effort. And even though you can play that well, there's still opportunities for you to lose. Tonight, as well as we played, there were still opportunities for us to lose. It was 1-1 going into late in the third period. And we still needed some big saves from Picks that if he didn't make, we could have lost. But I feel that if we can put in that effort on any given night, most of the time we should win.